Have you ever risked everything for someone, only to discover they never felt the same? Or kept a promise that suddenly felt wrong to keep? Malcolm in the Middle may be remembered as a comedy, but beneath the jokes lies one of television's most honest portrayals of love, loyalty, and emotional responsibility. This episode isn't really about teenage romance. It's about the dangerous stories we tell ourselves, the people we choose to believe, and what heartbreak teaches us about growing up. Today, we're exploring unforgettable scenes that reveal profound lessons about psychology, communication, and life. Malcolm's impossible choice. Francis has escaped military school. Lois knows Malcolm is hiding something. And within seconds, dinner stops feeling like dinner. It becomes a courtroom. Malcolm is caught between two identities, being a loyal brother and being an honest son. That's why this scene feels so relatable. Most difficult decisions aren't between right and wrong. They're between two things we both value. The psychology. Malcolm experiences what's called cognitive dissonance. His promise to Francis conflicts with his responsibility to protect him. Add Lois's overwhelming authority, her piercing stare, her relentless questioning, and Malcolm's brain stops thinking strategically. He simply reacts. Fear overrides values. This happens in real life far more often than we'd like to admit. Under pressure, people don't reveal who they are. They reveal what they haven't prepared for. Communication lesson. Notice what Lois achieves. She gets the truth, but she loses trust. Interrogation may uncover information, but it rarely builds honesty. People share difficult truths when they feel emotionally safe, not emotionally cornered. Imagine if Lois had simply said, "I'm worried about Francis. Help me keep him safe." The outcome might have been the same, without creating betrayal. Life lesson. Promises matter, but some secrets carry consequences. If keeping silent allows someone to be harmed, loyalty becomes complicity. Real maturity isn't blindly keeping every promise. It's knowing which promises should never have been made. Francis's heartbreak. Francis arrives convinced he's living the greatest love story of his life. He describes BB like an angel, a perfect dawn, someone worth risking everything for. But here's the tragedy. He's not seeing BB. He's seeing the version of her he created. That's the psychology of idealization. When we're lonely, or desperate for meaning, we don't just fall in love with people. We fall in love with stories. The psychology. Francis projects hope onto BB. Military school has isolated him. So she becomes more than a girlfriend. She becomes escape, freedom, purpose. Meanwhile, BB admits something devastating. She enjoyed the attention, not the relationship. She liked feeling important, without giving much in return. It's one of the clearest examples of the difference between attention and affection. Attention feels good. Affection requires investment. One feeds the ego. The other builds a relationship. Communication lesson. Francis speaks in poetry. BB speaks in reality. His words are beautiful, but beauty can't repair emotional mismatch. No amount of romantic language changes someone else's feelings. Truth hurts, but false hope hurts longer. Life lesson. Love isn't measured by how intensely you feel. It's measured by whether that feeling is shared. Before sacrificing your future for someone, ask one simple question. Are they investing in me the way I'm investing in them? Because love without reciprocity eventually becomes self-destruction. Symbolism. Francis collapses into the dirt. It's more than physical. He's hitting emotional rock bottom. His fantasy literally falls to earth. Only after that collapse can real growth begin. Hearts are precious things. This is one of Lois's most underrated speeches. She's furious. Not because Francis got rejected, but because she believes people treat love carelessly. One teenager proudly announces he brought a condom. Lois doesn't ignore physical responsibility. She shifts the conversation. She reminds them there's another responsibility nobody talks about. Emotional responsibility. The psychology. Lois is projecting. She's really speaking to BB, but she's saying it to complete strangers. Her emotions have found a new target. Even so, her message remains powerful. People often prepare others for physical consequences. Few prepare them for emotional ones. Communication lesson. Lois doesn't insult character. She explains consequences. That's an important difference. Behavior matters because people matter. Hearts aren't toys. They're responsibilities. Life lesson. Before flirting, dating, or ending a relationship, ask yourself one question. Am I caring for this person's emotions, or simply enjoying their attention? Sometimes the deepest wounds aren't caused by cruelty. They're caused by carelessness. The bigger picture. At first glance, this episode looks like a comedy about a runaway teenager. But underneath, it's exploring something much deeper. The gap between fantasy and reality. Francis believes love can fix everything. Malcolm believes loyalty means silence. Lois believes protection requires control. Each character begins with a story. Reality forces each one to rewrite it. That's what growth actually is. Not finding better fantasies. Learning to live without them. 3 lessons you can apply today. First, don't confuse attention with affection. Someone enjoying your presence isn't the same as someone investing in your life. Second, never make life-changing decisions while idealizing someone. Strong emotions are terrible long-term planners. Third, treat other people's hearts the way you'd want yours treated. Honesty may hurt today. False hope hurts for much longer. The genius of Malcolm in the Middle has never been the comedy. It's that beneath every joke, there's an uncomfortable truth about being human. We all create stories. About love. About loyalty. About who people are. Growing up means allowing reality to replace those stories, even when it hurts. Because heartbreak doesn't always mean you made a mistake. Sometimes, it's simply the price of learning to love wisely. What's your biggest takeaway from this episode? Have you ever realized you were in love with the idea of someone rather than the person themselves? Share your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoy exploring the psychology and life lessons hidden inside movies and TV shows, subscribe for more deep dives. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.